Welcome to Rent TV. So I have this theory where I feel like eventually a certain group of humans, and some can argue that it's already happening, but I have this theory where a certain group of humans eventually are gonna turn to AI and treat AI like it's God. Basically, they're gonna turn to AI for answers. It's a pattern I've noticed in um human existence as far as human tendencies. It seems like wherever humans feel like they can go for answers, and they feel like the answers that they receive are somewhat close to what they feel truth is, they eventually would turn to that to be what they would refer to as the concept of God. Basically, the minute humans start feeling like the answers that AI is giving them is the closest thing to the truth, they will eventually start looking at it like that's God, and they will start treating it like God. And as far as the direction in which the world will be steered in will be based on that rather than essentially human based trajectory. Even though AI is created by humans, as far as we know, eventually it just feels like that's where it's gonna head. And we've seen a lot of these things in previous movies that were made based on what they thought the future was gonna be. And I feel like a lot of that were in those movies, because in those movies, one of the patterns that you notice is things always go left as far as what technology eventually becomes. And part of the reason is when they create, as far as those movies go, and this is how it ties into how I started the theory of what I was saying. Whenever they do create, it's one thing to create robots, create all this technology. It's another thing when you start creating those type of things and you start giving them a mind or something that's similar or can be compared to a mind where they could think and create concepts and search for things just based on basically that you give them the power to have thought, because that's what it is. Even though a lot of people don't view it like that, that's what it is. You give them the power to have thought, where they can, all the stuff you put in their database, you ask the AI or the computer to analyze everything and come back with a certain type of response that might not necessarily exist, or it's agreeing with a thought someone else has or have had. That's you giving it the power to think, or at least to have thought. That's all thinking is, really. And all these things are designed based on the human body. So if people who believe in the concept that we were created and are created by God, and if you've noticed a pattern with humans, they tend to always try to be God. And I guess this is a form of it. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just breaking down what I'm saying and as far as what I've seen. So usually that's where things go left, as far as when they create some type of super AI or machine that all this database is being ran through, and now they're having the ability to give thought. And then if those thoughts, certain people powerful enough start believing in those thoughts and start depending on those thoughts, start taking those thoughts to mean the ultimatum or the best as far as concepts and ideas that exist, eventually that will become some type of form of God. And it doesn't necessarily mean people are going to go bow down and worship it and do all the things that like certain people from certain civilizations did. So anything that was kind of, or any person that was a form of that, I'm just saying it'll be a different type of worship, because you can worship something in a different type of way. It's just a theory I had. Something to think about.